Hello there, and welcome to Gaming Takes Ages. I am Teal. Hello.
Oh, it's you.
Me.
I have also prepared a costume, which is something that I was very scared of when I was a child. It is the Angry Sun from Mario 3.
Excellent. Fantastic.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I do like it. Oh my gosh. Appreciate that. I mean, to be fair, valid. Entirely valid. Horrifying enemy. As is, is it Big Bertha? Is that what the big fish is called?
Mm.
Yeah, that.
Yes, there's a lot of horrors in Mario.
Yeah. And, Lewis, you're back. Welcome back.
Who's Lewis? That's not me.
Oh.
It's me, Lito. Hello. Can't you tell?
We got Lito again.
Yeah.
No, I have fooled you, my friends.
Oh my
Is it obvious that I didn't have anything planned?
Oh no, there's still some on your back.
The best costumes stay with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reuse this toilet paper. Don't ask what for.
Okay then.
For the frights, of course.
Yeah. How are you all doing?
I've been ill.
Great. Oh, wonderful. That sounds like an amazing week. And have you played anything during the ill times?
A little. I was sort of sampling some of the Discord games recently. You can play games on Discord. We could all play one right now, but we won't because we're doing a podcast. They've got Wordle on there, and they've got like a Scrabble game on there, which was just Scrabble, and they had another game which I couldn't play because I'm not age verified, and I refused to do so. So that's my exciting story of games.
Excellent. Lewis, what have you played?
Hi. I actually do have some games I can say that I've played this time.
Nice.
I recently picked up the Resident Evil 4 remake and have been playing that for a little bit. Been enjoying it, as someone who likes the original game. I like some of the changes, don't like some of them, but, such is life. Yooka-Replay-Ly, I did actually pick up and have been
I've
playing.
also picked it up and I haven't played it yet. I need to play it at some point.
I have to say, it's making pretty good on the promises.
Good.
It's a lot more how I would have wanted the original to be. So I've been vibing with that pretty well.
Nice.
And I also played a demo on Steam for a game called Dead as Disco, which despite having, I think, one level and like an endless mode, is probably my favorite thing I've played in a long time.
Oh wow.
It's really, really fun. It's sort of a 3D beat 'em up kind of thing where your attacks are in time with the background music.
Oh, nice.
And you can add your own custom tracks and battle to whatever songs you want.
Cool.
And it's really, really interesting. As I say, right now only a demo, but if you're looking for something to play, people at home, please support indie devs.
You can put your own music in the demo.
Yeah. Even in the demo, in their like endless runner thing, you can just add your own song. It detects the beats per minute, and then you do a battle royale with it.
Impressive that it's actually giving you that much freedom in a demo, because usually they restrict it at least a little bit. But no, that's cool. I have been playing Once Upon a Katamari, a brand new Katamari game, and it is awesome. It's really, really fun. The gimmick this time is the entire universe is gone, so you need to reforge it by going through time, and it's great. It's exactly what you want from a Katamari game. It is just so much fun. But they've added more collectibles in each of the stages, and there's a lot more variety, and because it goes through time, there's a lot to add to that. So yeah, it's great. It's so much fun. I love it. So yeah, that's nice. Well, every week, we like to start by presenting an offering to the ancients. Who are the ancients? What do they desire? We still do not know. But we're going to try and please them. So, who wants to go first? I do not mind.
I figured it is Halloween. What could be better to offer to the ancients than a scary story? Ooh. So,
Sweet.
are you ready?
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, excellent.
Ooh.
Things are getting spooky. Hang on.
Lighting
hang
change.
on. Hang on.
Royalty-free music? No.
Are you ready for a scary story?
Aye, Captain.
Yeah.
Okay. Once upon a time, there was a man, and he had a knife. He was a scary man with a knife, and it
Gordon
was a big
Ramsay.
knife, and he was very scary looking, and he had a scary face, and he wore scary clothes, scary socks, and one day he died in a blender, and then a year later, somebody saw him, and he had a knife, and he had a blender for a hand, and the lady screamed. There was a lady that saw him, and the lady screamed, and then he killed everyone. And the big twist of the story is that he wasn't a man. He was a dog.
Amazing.
I'm spooked. I gotta tell you,
Good-
I'm pretty spooked.
Good luck sleeping tonight.
It's gonna be difficult.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, that was my scary story.
Well, thank you. It was a good story. Terrifying dog. I also appreciate the ambience of the
for sure.
lighting.
The whole mise en scène kind of
Yeah.
added to the je ne sais quoi.
Yes. Lewis, do you have an offering? If not, that is okay.
I do.
Oh, wonderful.
I figured, being Halloween, mine should also be something somewhat scary. If in the jump cut, some of you may have noticed something has gone missing because I have a slightly new background, so I'm not sure why anything doesn't look good. But the one thing that I can think of that is absolutely terrifying is assembling flat pack furniture.
Oh no!
And so my offering to the ancients are the 2 different pink screwdrivers that I used to assemble the desk that I am now looking at that is completely fucked. That is not even the desk bit is fine. Like, the things stay on it, and that's fine. But the drawers, for example, are just here. Just they're just in a pile here. The door to the cabinet doesn't go on. So it's been an absolutely
complex stuff.
It's insane, and I've never wished head colds on a group of people more than I have whoever designed this shit. So I'd like to particularly offer this one because it has a funny thing on it that says "screw it yourself," but the "it" is very small, so it looks like it says "screw yourself." Ha ha ha!
Very good, very good. That sounds like hell.
It fucking sucks. I'm convinced that I'm missing parts. I am currently in talks with the company I bought this from.
Yeah, entirely possible.
Some of this is a fucking joke, man. But the desk bit works, as I say, so we count our blessings.
Excellent. Well, since it's Halloween, I thought I'd bring something cursed. I quite enjoy replacing all the vowels of a word with a single vowel. So, for example, good overnong instead of good evening. Or, do yo know though doth a no tune of onsonity? You know, that kind of thing. So, as it's a Halloween special, I'll recite to you a couple of bits of a famous speech from Booshok. Though a soson hos overcomo my fono lono of Defonso. And now, ho plons de mordomo. On the ond, what soporotos, o mon, from o slovo? Monoi. Poor. No.
Monoi.
O mon chuzos. Ondo slovo, o boys. Would yo Consley? Powerful Frozo. For more lore, Frozo. It's so stupid. Salt. Would Joe Condley. Stond. Would Joe Condley. Ron. Stop. Torn. Omon Chuzos. O Slovo. O boys. Fun.
Oh, boys.
Yeah, fun. That's I considered putting "Oh booze" because sometimes why, but
It's
that
also
was
it's a fun exercise because it gave us Ouija memes. If you're from the UK, you might be familiar with the chain restaurant Wagamama. But if you just change all the A's to E's, you get a Ouija meme, and I've forever since called them Ouija memes. Want to go get a Ouija memes?
I will now call them nothing but Ouija memes.
No, the ancients would not allow it.
Fair enough.
Surely they would have liked that. What's going on with them?
So usually we look at games that were released exactly 25 years ago, but since it's Halloween, let's talk about some horror or horror-related games from 25 years ago. Ye old year 2000. So we're going to start with Resident Evil Code Veronica, released for the Dreamcast on February 3rd, 2000 in Japan, March 28th in America, and May 26th in Europe. It also released a year later on the PS2. It is set 3 months after the year of Resident Evil 2. Claire and Chris Redfield are back. Their luck is quite frankly appalling. It plays like other Resident Evil games of the era, survival horror with puzzles and your friend and mine, tank controls. Thing is, though, it works. It has a 94 on Metacritic, so very well received game. We have a player review. YGS gave it a 10. Unbelievable. One of the best games in history, without a doubt. The best for me after Resident Evil 4. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Did alright. Has anyone played it?
No, I know very little about this one.
Sweet.
No, yeah, I have to admit, it's not one I know much on.
Same. I don't know much either. But people really like it.
I did know that. I did know it was quite beloved in like what I would consider the hardcore Resi community.
Yeah. It'll be interesting because, obviously the Resident Evil games have been remade up through 4. I wonder if Code Veronica will also get one, or if they'll go to 5. Which, if I'm not mistaken, 5 and 6 weren't loved. Or am I wrong in saying that?
No. So 5 not so much, 6 definitely not.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'd be interesting to see what happens there, because if they remake Code Veronica, everyone's gonna be very happy because obviously it's beloved. If they remake 5, will they actually be able to fix it? It's an interesting.
This is, I think 5 has more potential than 6, in my opinion. Anyway, 5's not terrible. I think it's a lot of people came in from 4 to 5 and saw it as a bit of a step down from that. 6 is pretty pants in all honesty.
Fair enough.
I have only played one Resident Evil game. Can you guess which one it is?
3.
Yeah, I was gonna say 3.
No. I don't know anything about 3.
The first
as well.
Fair. Is it the
remake? Familiar with
the first one?
No.
Fair.
Is it?
I beg your pardon. You were saying
7.
No.
Okay.
It's 5. 5 is the only one that I've ever played.
Oh, wow.
Excellent.
Okay.
And it's because somebody else was playing it and they wanted a player too, and I was that player too.
Sweet.
What did you think of it? Actually, that's interesting. As someone who didn't have the experience before,
I had fun playing a game with my friend. So
valid.
I've seen the other games since then, and I'm like, yeah, I can see why people didn't like this one as much.
Okay, fair enough. I know nothing about 5 and 6 besides it's not beloved like the others are. But hey, we're here to talk about a lot of horror games. Diablo 2 released on PC on June 28th, 2000, and evolves what was set up in the first game. You control a new hero, attempting to stop the destruction unleashed by Diablo's return. However, unlike the first game, where it's mostly gothic themes and hell, this deviates and takes you to new locales like forests, Egyptian tombs, the car park behind Asda. Diablo 2 allows the player to choose between 5 different character classes. So, Amazon, Necromancer, Barbarian, Sorceress, and Paladin, and each character has different strengths, weaknesses, and sets of skills to choose from, as well as varying beginning attributes. The maximum level they can obtain is level 99, and there is also a permadeath mode, so where you only have one life if you want to go for like the ultimate challenge, which I do quite like. It has an 88 on Metacritic by reviews and fans alike, so it's done pretty well. GamePro gave it 100. Anyone who ever considered an action RPG should run straight to the store and sell their souls for Diablo 2. Antagonist gave it a 95. This is one monkey that's tougher to kick than nicotine, alcohol, and nose picking all rolled into one. Which, that's a great quote. And then
the triple threat, as it were.
Yeah. And then a player review, Sousa, built on the original Diablo and improved it in every way. The graphics are dated, but the fact that you can play this game over 20 years later and it doesn't just hold up, but is arguably still one of the best ARPGs around, is a testament to just how ahead of its time this game was. 0 out of 10. So I love it every single time. So has anyone played Diablo? Any of them?
Yes, I've played Diablo 2.
Oh my god, it's the first game! Woo!
My friend had Diablo 2, and I went to his house, and he was like, hey, you should start. So I played it. I didn't get very far. I had a druid, I think. And I don't remember very much about it because it was probably the year 2000. So I've played it a bit.
Fair enough. Amazing. You've actually played a game in this series. Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah. I have
weirdly,
not.
Yes.
But I do have experience with nicotine and picking my nose, so I'm 2 out of 3.
Fantastic. Well, that's great. I have not played any of the Diablo games. I know that they are loved massively, as evident by the 0 out of 10. But I've not played it myself. But hey, we've got to move on to a new game. Muppet Monster Adventure. It is horror adjacent, sort of. Released on the PS1 20th of October and in Europe on the 7th of November. Sorry, no. 20th of October in Europe, 7th of November in America, my bad. This is a 3D platformer that really feels like the studio wanted to make a Crash and Spyro game. The 3D worlds of Spyro with the moveset of both characters to match it. So, but like, visually, it really, really looks like Spyro. Specifically Spyro on the PS1, because it was a PS1 game. If you replaced Kermit's cousin, is it their cousin? Or child? I don't know. It's not Kermit, it's their...
His cousin, I think.
Yeah, if you replace Kermit's cousin and put Spyro there in its place, you would think it's a Spyro game. The ladders are identical. You know how the ladders just look like, a bit of wall with some lines on? No, identical art. It is fascinating to look at them. It's very weird. But whilst it doesn't quite feel as nice as Spyro, it is a fun game. And the soundtrack is super good. And that is both not surprising and surprising because of who composed the soundtrack. And it is Michael Giacchino. Of famous movies.
What?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
it is a genuinely great soundtrack. So it's not on Metacritic. It was, so I can only get the review scores through like Game Rankings. Back in like, and Game Rankings, to be clear, doesn't exist anymore. This is like what's archived. So it got a 71 overall, which is not bad. GameSpot's Scott Steinberg called it surprisingly polished and enjoyable, but was unimpressed by the game's sound effects and forgettable soundtrack, which is like, funny. How did that happen? Like, do you just hate music? Because I'm astonished. Like, the main theme alone is it's still in my head. Like, it won't go away. But Jeremy Conrad of IGN disagreed with Steinberg's verdict on the soundtrack, deeming it probably the best part of the entire game, and found the gameplay isn't really anything we haven't seen before. Which is, it's fair enough, I suppose. It's really interesting, though, because around the PS1 era, because of Crash's success, we saw a lot of Crash clones. Barbie, Donald Duck, other Disney properties, and probably a lot more that I can't think of or name. But I could be wrong in saying this. I think this is technically the only real Spyro clone. You could make the argument like Toy Story 2 is sort of Spyro-like because, you know, it's a confined 3D world. But like this is the kind of you actually can glide and you can you've got a spin attack and a flame breath. You know, it's like desperately trying to copy Spyro's moveset and feel. And the thing is, creating multiple 3D worlds that are fun and engaging is really hard. It is incredibly difficult. Creating a Crash game isn't easy either, but it's significantly easier creating a linear passage than creating a full 3D world that's fun to interact and has multiple gimmicks and mini games and platforming challenge. And yeah, it's just very difficult. So it's really interesting that we did get one, and that it is good. As I haven't played the whole thing. I played it a year ago.
Bizfolk Shuffler, right?
It was the Bizfolk Shuffler, yeah. So I haven't played it in a while. But it's it was cool. It was fun. I enjoyed what I played. I would be up for playing more of it. Yeah, it's just it's a cool game. But next, we've got American McGee's Alice, released for PC on December 5th. And this is a game I didn't want to look into too much because I'm really excited to play this one day. I've seen a trailer that doesn't really have any gameplay a couple times from Patreon votes. So basically, like, my other YouTube channel has a Patreon, and like those who follow like pretty much like the middle tier, if you donate to that, you get to vote on my next Let's Play. And by that I mean they choose and then everyone votes on the choices. So I have no say in it. It's all down to them. And this is a game that's come up a couple of times, and I really want to play it. So it's a third-person dark fantasy action game, and I'm just going to read you a quote from the trailer because it immediately sold me. Alice grew up, so did Wonderland. That is a great quote. And what's interesting, it's also EA's first mature game. And did pretty well, receiving 85 on Metacritic from reviews. So Antagonist gave it a 99, the closest you'll ever need to get to surreal insanity brilliance. And Happy Puppy gave it a 90. It combines several of my interests. Kooky Victoria, what the fuck is that? Victoriana. I don't know what that means. Kooky Victoriana.
The Victoriana, like Victorian England aesthetics.
Okay, got it. Kooky Victoriana, bloody fairy tales, lush writing, bratty girls with knives, and talking cats. It covers all of it. Beautiful. So yeah.
Bratty girls with knives is a strange interest to have.
Yeah. But,
we all have our things. What can I say?
It's fair. I mean, sure. Who's played this one? You played it. Yeah.
I have. I actually have. When they released the sequel, Alice, I think it's called Madness Returns.
It is, yep.
Madness Returns,
there's a PC version, 360 and PS3. You can play the 360 version on modern Xboxes. And they actually bundled the original game as a free downloadable update. Yeah. So you can have both. So I have played it. And I do quite like it. I like the style. I like the aesthetic. It's certainly a game of its era, shall we say.
I've heard of that.
You play the sequel and you go, oh, okay, this is sort of how they imagined it would ideally be playing if they had the resources, the tech, the etc. But it's certainly an interesting game, certainly worth trying if you're interested. As is the sequel, which I have beaten. I haven't beaten the original. And it probably has one of my favorite villains, the sequel. So in that sense, certainly worth trying, especially if you can get them both.
I've heard that Madness Returns is really good.
I really like it. Does a lot of really clever things. I inclined to say really good, but I'm going off the memory of when I played it.
Yeah, it was 2011,
10
I
years
think.
ago. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Certainly worth your time is what I would say if you're interested in that sort of thing.
Very cool.
It was one of those
Um,
boxes that I'd always look at whenever I went into the game shop, and I'd be like, "What is this game? What's going on here?"
Evil Dead: Hail to the King also released on December 5th, but this was on PS1. It later released for Dreamcast on December 19th. However, that was just America. Europe wouldn't see it until 2001. Evil Dead: Hail to the King functions much like a Resident Evil game, containing similar features such as pre-rendered backgrounds and semi-fixed camera angles, as well as limited ammunition and fuel for the chainsaw. But I'm guessing it's not super fun because reviews on Metacritic gave it a 49. So GamerWeb Sega gave it a 60. Too short, too frustrating, and too average. Fans of Ash will dig it for a short while, but all others need to steer clear. Games Radar, an official review, gave it a 0. Or at least that's what's listed on Metacritic. I can't find the original review, so I don't know. But I've never seen the numbers on the official reviews be wrong before, so it might be a mistake. But anyway, it says...
Actually, for a game to get 0, it would have to be not a game.
Well, all in all, the nasty, pixelated graphics, lax controls, repetitive enemies, slim variation, and frustrating, leaden gameplay make for an effort that reeks like a maggot-infested corpse. That is a review.
It sounds like a 0. It sounds like a 0.
Yeah. But here's the thing. This is what I love about this. There's only like 2 or 3 player reviews on Metacritic for this game. And one of them is by Toasty87. And it very much backs up the idea I've had and like said for however long. And that is every game, it's not necessarily someone's favourite, but someone truly loves it. And Toasty gave it a 7, saying, first game I owned and played it to death on Dreamcast, never understood the hate for it. And that's really cool. Like, a lot of people clearly hate this game, but Toasty87 loves it, and that's nice. So, good for you, Toasty. Evil Dead may not necessarily be the best game ever, but someone loves it, and that's great. So, well done. Next up, Medieval 2, released on the PlayStation 1 in Europe on April 21st. This is a game I've always wanted to play and have bought it twice on eBay. Both versions didn't work.
Wait, so you haven't played this game?
Beyond PS1 demo, no. Not Medieval 2.
Wow.
The first one I have. So I'm a huge fan of the original game. And from what I can tell, this seems to follow in the footsteps on the demo level I've played, not the devil
level.
However, this is not a sequel set immediately after the first game. Dan's bones are in a museum in Victorian England. This is set 500 years later, and you need to stop you need to stop Jack the Ripper from raising an army of the dead. That's the plot. Yeah, Metacritic reviews aren't available, sadly, but it got an average of 79%. So we did all right. Has anyone played it?
I haven't played it, but I did watch all the cutscenes because I like you, I was a big fan of the original.
Yeah.
I do know there's a glitch with the endings that they've accidentally put them in the wrong place, or at least I understand that as online discourse. So there's 2 endings. One is Dan gets, I think, sent back in time.
Okay.
There's a little bit of time travel involved in it.
Okay.
He gets squished by a dinosaur or something.
Okay.
And then another is that he gets buried with the love interest in the game. And as I understand it, something went wrong somewhere down the line. And if you don't get 100% completion, you get the good ending where you get buried with your love. But if you get 100%, your characters die in front of your face.
Right. Interesting. Okay. I have not heard about that. That's really cool, I think. It's interesting because like the Medieval got a remake on PS4, and it was really good. It was a really genuinely great remake, and I was hoping that the second one would also get one as off the back of it, so I could finally properly play it. No such luck, or at least not yet. Maybe it could be in the works, we don't know. But I will just quickly mention the remake on PS4 because it does one of my favorite things of any like remaster remake, and that is when you 100% the game, you get the original game. Not a skin, it's just there's a new thing in the main menu, and it just plays a ROM of the original game, which is really cool. Why don't more games do that? I love that. I really love that. So, very good. Next up, Dino Crisis 2 released September 13th in Japan, 20th in America, and 24th in Europe, and was a massive success. This is a big deviation from the first game. That was a survival horror title, but this is an action arcade adventure game. And that was clearly the right move, because the original had a 74 Metacritic, but Dino Crisis 2 had 86. IGN gave it 93, saying, "Let me tell you, this is the shit. Dino Crisis 2 is a pure action-packed adventure shooter that satisfies my urge to bloody my shirt with dinosaur guts, all the while weaving a great story with worthwhile characters whom I care about." So, pretty good. What's fascinating to me about this is IGN using the phrase "the shit" in 2000.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, when did that phrase originate?
I thought it was
I don't
much
remember
later.
hearing that in 2000.
Really? I thought it was much later than 2000.
Well, no, I'm saying I don't remember hearing it from 2000.
Yeah, I remember it in like secondary school, but I don't remember primary. So that's just very interesting. We've also got some player reviews.
Maybe not a lot of primary school kids were going around saying this is the shit.
Sure, but you know what I mean, though. Like,
I couldn't tell you.
But
maybe it's a cultural thing. Maybe it was bigger in America.
Perhaps.
Could be. That would make sense.
Player reviews. Turkey Kid 2003 gave it a 9, saying, "I did not understand the story, but Regina is beautiful. At least 75 characters." So we're learning how Metacritic works. You need to now, because this was posted in 2023, you now need to post at least 75 characters in your reviews. We are learning. As we steadily go through this, we're seeing exactly how Metacritic is updated. It used to be 150, now it's 75. I wonder if it's lower now. Maybe we'll find out one day. And then Portuguese Boy gave it, they said, "It is not great like the first one, but Regina is still Regina, kind of. Her face and race were changed. I dislike these changes. I will find whoever did this." They gave it a 9 though. So I don't know. There's a lot to digest there. I don't know, Regina.
Maybe they did find whoever did that, and that person convinced them that these changes were okay, and they're like, okay. And it is.
Perhaps.
I do like the idea, though, that all of these complaints, being so willing to find the person responsible, only really worth docking 1 point for.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to be fair here.
Yeah, it's fine. Has anyone played this game? Let's move on then to our final game we're covering.
I know nothing about Dino Crisis.
We're going to go to our final game. Alien Resurrection, released on PS1 October 20th in America and December 1st in Europe. Based on the 1997 film of the same name, this game was originally intended to coincide with the film's release, but was mired with development hell for several years, finally being completed and released in 2000. So it's an FPS survival horror, and despite going through development hell for 3+ years, it isn't the absolute worst, as it has 61 on Metacritic, which is fine. Given the circumstances, that's alright. Like, it could have been like a 30, it could have been a mess. That's alright. But I'll tell you what, some people really liked it. You remember how Games Radar gave a game a 0 earlier? Well, they gave this, apparently, assuming it's not wrong, 100. The true magic of Alien Resurrection is that you almost always feel insecure, no matter the quantity or quality of munitions at your disposal, which actually is a really interesting thing that reviewer took away from it. Something that actually probably bothered a bunch of people. They really latched onto that and loved it. Which is, I really
that's
like.
what it should be for an Alien game.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Alien. That's what Alien is all about.
Yeah. IGN gave it 65. What's here is still gristly, taut fun, just like most every other Alien game in the past. And for every 10 moments of frustration, there's at least as many moments where the game looks and feels just right. Still, that's a horrible ratio. Fair. Good review.
Yeah.
GameSpot.
I'm very interested.
Yeah, so
no, go on. Go do the next one.
GameSpot gives us a little insight as to why people didn't like it. Beyond the control issues, Alien Resurrection is gruelingly hard. So, you know, and we've got another player review, which, you know, Big Boss MX, probably the best FPS for PS1. What a game with a little love heart. 0 out of 10. They love.
Yeah, I'm very interested if the game is actually rated better than the movie, because the movie is not well loved.
I absolutely can confirm that the movie sucks. But I actually do have an interesting story about this, and I think that exact review.
Okay, no, sorry, I've got a story as well.
I've
got a story as well, but I think you should go first.
So, this is... I hope I'm remembering it right. I did just have to Google it to make sure it was. But there was an Aliens game, I'm pretty sure it was this one, that was actually, I think, one of the first console games to use what is traditionally now the sort of 2 analog stick approach to aiming.
Right, okay.
In first-person shooters. And that's part of these control complaints that some of the reviews talk about. The one you just mentioned there, GameSpot, I think it was.
Yeah.
I believe in their review they suggested using the PS1 mouse in order to...
Yes, it is playable with the PS1 mouse. Yeah.
Yes. There's also a funny little quote at the end of that review that has aged even worse than Alien Resurrection, the movie.
Oh, go on.
You're laughing? I think you know it?
I don't. No, please go.
Okay. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it goes along the lines of saying, fans of Alien will probably be better suited waiting for the upcoming Aliens Colonial Marines to launch on the PlayStation 2.
Yes. Awesome. Absolutely awesome.
And they were not.
No. Well, I've got a story as well about this game, because it actually got a little bit more interesting in 2023. It was revealed that there is a super secret cheat code within the game. It was already known, but there was a cheat menu within the game by typing in a couple of buttons, and it would in the options menu, and it would unlock a cheat code menu in the options, so you could get unlimited ammo. You could warp to any level. However, there is another code, and you can find it online. I can't remember what the channel is. I want to say like Modern Vintage Gamer or something like that. One of those channels. They basically did a video on this. So this code is known. You can find it. So it unlocks a secondary cheat menu, which was not disclosed to Sony at the time, because it allows you, if you whilst putting in this code, holding L1, taking the disc out, putting a burned disc in, and then closing it, well, not letting go of L1, making sure you hold L1 the whole time. You put a burned disc in, it runs the burned disc. So if you, in the example the video did, they had Silent Hill burned onto a disc, like a ROM burned onto a disc. This kind of thing was impossible back in the day. There would be things that would stop, anti-cheat systems that would stop you being able to just burn games onto random CD discs and put it in and work. This overwrote all of it. It is a literal cheat code that overwrites the burning of discs and allows it to be played on a actual PS1 system, which is wild. And it was one of the developers who told people about the code in 2023, but it went for, I guess, 23 years unknown. No one but the devs knew about it. So yeah, if you burn,
because how would you figure that out?
Well, yeah, for sure. But it's if you burned games onto a disc and try to get it working on an actual PS1, you can. It through this specific game, which is crazy. So really, really cool. Love that kind of stuff.
I did find the exact quote actually, and I do have to bring specific attention to this.
Okay, go on.
First of all, when they mention the game's controls, they say, the game's control setup is its most terrifying element. The left analog stick moves you forward, back, and strafes right and left, while the right analog stick turns you and can be used to look up and down. You may recognize this as basically the control system for every console first-person shooter since.
Yes, that's crazy.
But that's apparently terrifying. Imagine that. But the exact quote here is, fans of console first-person shooters or the Alien film series will probably be better off waiting for Fox's recently announced Aliens Colonial Marines for the PlayStation 2. While no concrete details have been announced for the next game yet, this is one instance where the unknown is preferable to the devil you know.
Wow. Usually, I have a question based on the game we're talking about, but obviously, we're talking about a lot of games, so I've got a different kind of question for you. It turns out over 40 horror or horror-adjacent games released in the year 2000. So we've obviously covered a bunch of them today. Which one of these 7 games did not release in 2000, or actually at all because I made it up? Fear Effect for the PS1. Scary Game for the Dreamcast. Kiss, Psycho Circus, The Nightmare Child for the Dreamcast. Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the Game Boy. McDonald's.exe for PC. Ningyo no Rakuen for PS1. The Ring, Terror's Realm for Dreamcast.
Man.
When you say the Kiss game, that's not a game based on the band.
It's based on a Kiss tribute band. Or is it?
Okay.
Or did I make that up?
See, I know that Kiss, the band, is like the biggest thing for merchandise. Like, no one has more merchandise than Kiss as a brand. Like, you can get Kiss-themed coffins and all sorts. So, based on that logic, that one could very well be true. I'm pretty sure the Buffy one is true. I know there was Buffy games. I played one. And see, Scary Game is
Can I give a bit of it's based
on the nose enough.
It's based on Scary Movie, which released that year. But they didn't call it Scary Movie the game. They just called it Scary Game.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Because
that's
so
it is actually,
it's not a movie.
I kind of love that.
Yeah.
I kind of love that.
Yeah.
I can't think what a Scary Movie game would be.
I don't know. I didn't really look up any of these.
.exe one is it sounds like a creepypasta thing.
Yeah.
Also, like McDonald's, why is it a horror game? You said that these are horror games.
Yes. Horror or horror adjacent, but I mean,
or is the McDonald's EXE an actual creepypasta from 2000 that is like, there was a lot of this thing going around like, oh, it's a Teletubbies game, except no, you're shooting Teletubbies. And like,
well,
it's a McDonald's game. No, it's like creepy. And
I will say that I made one of these up.
This is why I'm trying to find out, Teal.
Yeah.
This is the
I'm
basis
trying to
of our
logic
theorizing.
through the, I don't. What was the first one?
Fear Effect. Fear Effect.
And what if you just made the Japanese one up?
What Ningyo
how are we to know?
Yes.
Say it again.
Ningyo no Rakuen.
Now look at the camera and say it.
I don't remember it. Ningyo no Rakuen.
What's the last?
The only thing that really confirms is that Teal is not fluent in Japanese.
Yeah.
The Ring, Terror's Realm.
Is that based on the movie?
I believe so.
You don't call it The Ring, and it's not.
You don't know, but you knew about the scary. Yeah, I reckon that one.
The thing
I'm gonna.
Yeah. Wait, hang on. Because the thing is, Teal hasn't seen The Ring. Teal wouldn't watch The Ring.
I definitely would not. No.
It's valid.
Terror's Realm. Therefore, if he made this up, he had to make up the name The Ring Terror's Realm, right? The Terror's Realm doesn't. Oh, man. Would they make a game called The Ring Terror's Realm? How would they make a game of The Ring anyway? I can't see The Ring working.
How would they make a game about a scary movie?
Yeah, that's true.
About McDonald's EXE. This is a great question. I'm gonna commit to The Ring, I think.
I'm also leaning to The Ring, but I can't see Teal trying to make up a fake thing for The Ring because he's not gonna know anything about The Ring. Whereas he's probably going to guess that me and you have watched The Ring. And
I
therefore he
haven't,
can't
for what it's
trick
worth.
me.
I actually
You've
have
not
not
seen
seen
The Ring?
I've actually not
Okay.
seen The Ring. No,
Not even the English one?
No. I haven't seen any of them.
Mm.
No reason, just didn't get around to it. I recognise a reference to it here and there, but I hadn't seen it.
I think for that reason I can't go with The Ring. What was... Oh, man. What's the last one again?
The Ring.
Oh, what was the one before that?
Ningyo no Rakuen.
Oh, okay. And before that, go through them all.
McDonald's the EXE, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Kiss Psycho Circus, The Nightmare Child, Scary Game, Fear Effect.
Oh,
Oh,
don't.
man.
If it's McDonald's.exe, I'm going to feel so fucking stupid.
I'm going with Fear Effect. Whatever. I'm going with that one.
Okay, it is Scary Game.
Ugh.
Oh.
Yeah. I made it up. There wasn't a.
That was a good lie you told.
did
That was
did
really
release.
good.
That movie did release in 2000. I basically looked for horror films that were released in 2000. I was like, oh, what could I use? I was like, oh, what if it was just called Scary Game? That sounds like something I made up, but it technically is connected to the movie. So Buffy the Vampire Slayer is based on Series 4, specifically.
Oh, the worst one.
Huh?
The worst series.
Is it? Okay, great. Well, it is. So, the Ring, relating to that, Jim Preston of Next Gen said of the game, if it were a hamster, we would bury it in a shoebox in the backyard. It's not a good game. Now, you were intrigued about McDonald's. So, when the user launches the program, the screen turns black and some weird green Chinese text appears, which is a horror story. A few seconds later, the text disappears and the screen returns to its original state. Shortly after, a dialogue window appears in some more Chinese text, an email address and a phone number. After a short delay from when the user closes the window, a black and white picture of a girl with no eyes will pop up along with a short scream. The image will continue to be displayed at 2-minute intervals until the process is terminated and deleted in Task Manager.
Yeah, for sure. That's immediately once I started picking into why there would be a McDonald's horror game, I knew it was going to be that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely awful. So, finally, we end the show with interaction for the viewers. We got an email, gamingtasteages@gmail.com. We would love for you to email in with gaming stories about upcoming games, or any gaming story, really. Questions for us. Email in. It would be lovely. So, okay. We got some horror-related stuff. So, what's your favourite horror-related media, and what horror thing has scared you the most? Emil, why don't you begin?
Okay. Well, my favourite movie is a horror movie. It is John Carpenter's The Thing. I love it so much. It's a brilliant movie. It's also not hard horror. It's like a thriller, but it also has like a gore element, but it's not like Saw. It's like body horror kind of thing. If you've played Among Us is basically The Thing. They've just based off The Thing. It's a great movie, and I love it so much. So that is definitely my favorite horror-based thing. I find with horror movies, they don't scare me that much, but with horror games, for some reason, those scare me a lot, and they don't even have to be that scary. Like the clicker sections from The Last of Us.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do it. Like that was too much for me. But I can watch any horror movie and be like, yeah, I don't know what it is about it. I guess it's the interactive element that I find.
I think it's exactly that. It's that passive feeling of watching a movie compared to the active feeling of being in control.
Yeah, and that you have to do it. Like
yes,
I can just stop a movie. I won't see the rest. I could just skip through the movie if I wanted. But if you want to get further in the game, you have to progress through the scary thing. I guess that's the point of a horror game. But yeah, so I tend to not play horror games that much. And as for what has scared me the most, I'm kind of tempted to say, when I was a kid, you may be familiar with the television series based on the popular books Goosebumps.
Mhm.
There's one bit in the opening sequence of that just terrified me as a kid. And it's just this it's weird. It's like when you have a kink, right? And that's like a weird niche thing that you're really into. This is like the fear version of that. Like there's this one niche thing that really creeps me out, and I don't know why, but it just does. And it's this one bit where a lady on a billboard changes, and that creeps me out so much, to the point where I see it this day, it still gives me chills. I'm like, why is that creepy? It really creeps me out. I don't know. But another thing is, are you familiar with the film Salem's Lot, which I believe is a Stephen King book?
I recognize the name. I might have seen it.
There's a film made of it in the 70s, I think. And I saw it once when I was a kid. So having a sibling who is 6 years older, and also having parents that were pretty lenient on, what I did, meant that I did watch a lot of horror movies as a kid. So I don't think any of them really scared me that much, but there was this, I remember distinctly this one evening where me and my sister and my mum were watching TV and Salem's Lot was on. And there's this one scene where okay, you might know Salem's Lot from The Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors, where all the kids are vampires. And there's this bit where Bart is floating out the window and trying to get Lisa to come out. That's based on this scene from Salem's Lot. So this like kid is like floating outside the window and like scratching, and he's like creepy looking, and then the other kid like gets out of the bed and then like lets this kid in, and the music's really creepy. And I remember at the time that just terrified me so much. There's something about windows that is kind of scary. Like you never know what's going to be outside a window. There's so much that could be there because it's the outside, and the inside is safe. So that is also another scene that has always terrified me. I don't remember anything else from the film except that one scene. I watched it back as an adult. I was like, yeah, this is creepy. But maybe just because it creeped me out so much when I was a kid.
Fair.
Cool.
I don't know what's more irritating for me personally. The fact that we can just assume that if I recognize something but I'm not sure what from, it's probably something to do with The Simpsons.
The Simpsons.
Or the fact that you are absolutely fucking right. My favorite horror themed media is, it's difficult really, because I wrote my dissertation on horror movies about why they make you feel the way they feel, why people would want to feel that way, the different means and effects. So I kind of just enjoy horror generally in a lot of its forms, but the ones that kind of stick with me are the ones that kind of use it more for aesthetic purposes. Things like A Nightmare Before Christmas, for example, stick longer with me because of the inherent sort of theming around it, really. Whereas something like the Until Dawn movie from earlier this year that I watched, which is, effective horror and very good horror, but that's kind of all it is. So there's not anything else to really get involved with. So instinctively for that answer, I would say The Nightmare Before Christmas, or Vincent, the short film that was involved on the DVD. I enjoyed that very much as well. But the thing that particularly scared me as a kid, I was worried you were going to say it, Emil, because mine has a very similar build-up. It's a TV series based on a very popular series of books that also starts with the letter G. But I guess being of a younger generation, it is Grisly Tales for Gruesome Kids.
Yes,
I have never read any of the books. It happened to be on once, and it ruined me as a child. I genuinely there were two parts of my childhood. Before I knew what that show was, and after, it was insane for me, because the actual like stories are animated like cartoons, sort of generally, you know, and they're a bit creepy and a bit off-putting, and the narrator's doing a frankly excellent job at being incredibly creepy. But it starts with like a cold open in a theater where some 3D puppet kid is watching. And something about that whole aesthetic, the offcanny like stop motion animation there, it just shit me up in such a major way. And I have never been able to put my finger on why. I've never understood why. But on some level, it ruined my life.
Interesting you mentioned Nightmare Before Christmas, because I really like The Corpse Bride as well.
Corpse Bride is great.
It's I haven't seen it in a long time, like maybe 10 plus years, but I remember really enjoying it. But that's not my favourite one. My favourite is actually a horror series of games, Fatal Frame. I'm not into horror, but Fatal Frame, I don't know what it is about it. I just have a soft spot for it. For those who don't know, it is basically a horror game where you have a camera and you basically will take pictures of ghosts and you have to fight them with the camera itself. When they're within like view of the lens, the longer you hold on them, the more power you can do when you take a picture. And it's a really effective horror game. And it's really cool because I was playing a PS2 demo recently and that was in it. And what they did with the build up to the first game is they had, I think, 8 or 9 journalists stay in a building similar to the one set in the game, which has a history of being haunted because of people have died in there in the past, and apparently their ghosts still roam. And it's effectively a haunted hotel now. And they basically had the 9 journalists stay at this hotel, do like various sort of like challenges around the hotel where they'd be jump scared a bunch, and then when they get back to their rooms at midnight, they have to play the game. And so that's mental marketing. I love that. And one of them left. And fair enough. Like, that's horrible. I would lose my mind if that's what if I'd been there the whole time and you have to play a game that's basically set in where you are. Yeah, that's rough. That's a rough day. But it's really funny. But yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of the games, but it's just a fantastic franchise. And I got into it because of a channel called SkyBlue1022. She did videos on it. Oh, I don't know when, like 15 plus years ago. But I found her through doing croc videos. But yeah, she did Fatal Frame, and like just so we started chatting around that time. And it was just really cool because I was like, okay, I don't know whether it was just something about like the playthrough and like the vibe and the fact that we didn't know each other well, but you know we knew each other to a degree. But it was just like, okay, this makes it
YouTube
less
friends.
scary. Yeah, this makes it less scary. It's it's just more fun, and it was just from then on I just was like, okay, I like this franchise. I still get scared by it, but and I most likely won't touch horror generally speaking, but I'm alright with it. As for the thing that scared me the most, Outlast. The opening of that game could go fuck itself. I'm sure it gets worse, but like the first hour or so, fucking hell. Like, nah. There's a point, like, it's already quite scary, but you're in for those who don't, you're in an insane asylum, which is not great at the best of times. But it's an abandoned one, yay. But there's a point, you go down a couple of corridors, it's certainly unsettling, and then you're like I can't remember, I think you're in probably the security room, or something of that description. You can see a guy who looks quite menacing, and he shuts down all the power. I was like, and at that point you're in the dark. It's like, nah, nah, I don't want to play anymore. and I should have stopped. I played for I don't know, like 21 minutes. Didn't like it. Didn't care for it. Not worth it. Outlast is a great game, I'm sure, for people who like horror or are not a coward. However, I do not really like horror, and I'm a coward. So terrible experience all around. I remember there was a game recently, the Outlast Trials. I don't know exactly when it came out, like a year or 2 years ago. I remember the developers contacted me, being like, "Oh, would you be interested in covering this game?" I was just like, "Nah, I would not."
When you said the Outlast Trials, I was thinking of the bike, that bike Trials game.
Oh, Trials.
That mixed with Outlast.
No, they'd have to pay me a lot of money for me to play that game, because like the way it was like marketed was like, this is the scariest game in the franchise. It's gonna be like true horror, and like you're gonna hate every second. Like, yeah, nah. I didn't like the first one, and apparently that's tame. Like, nah. Like you're gonna have to pay me multiple thousands of pounds for me to touch this game. Like,
yeah, the first Outlast was hard to beat. It was so hard to get through. You're so right. Scary shit. I think Paranorman is better than Nightmare Before Christmas. I wish I'd said that now.
You can.
Yeah, Paranorman is good.
Paranorman's so good.
Well, we will end it there, I guess. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, leave likes, subscribes, all that jazz. Next week, we're going to be looking at Crash Bash. With Cad Icarus. So that is going to be a lot of fun. And then the week after that, on November 14th, I'm sorry, Emil, Sonic Shuffle.
You do it.
No.
Yeah.
No, this is supposed to be the horror episode.
Yeah, no, it's wrong. It's 2 weeks' time. So,
Truly the duality of party games.
Yeah. Well, some people would argue they're on the same sort of plane, but no.
No, those people are very wrong.
They are, yeah.
Even if you don't like Crash Bash.
Yeah, but if you have stories about upcoming games, you have questions, please do email at gamingtakestages@gmail.com or leave a comment or wherever it may be. But thank you very much. We hope you've enjoyed this spooky episode, and we'll see you next time.